Good morning, students. In my last video, I have explained many concepts of 1D array or one-dimensional array. For example, I have explained sorting, I have explained binary search, linear search, few programmings from from array, as well as various techniques of array, how to declare, how to insert the values, how to delete the elements from the array. So many things we have explained. So today I'm going to teach you this 2D array. Okay, today I'm going to teach you this 2D array. Students, do you have any idea about this 2D array? See, 2D means two-dimensional array. 2D means two-dimensional array. Okay, so if I hope that still now you have no idea about 2D array. So before explaining 2D array or before discussing from the programs, today I would like to explain you about 2D array by writing. So students, please you follow what I am doing. See, first of all, suppose here I am declaring 1D array first. Suppose my array name is AR, then and I am going to insert or I am going to declare 10 elements of an array. So for example, int, then AR, third bracket open close, equal to new int, excuse me, 10. So students, in this line, if you see in this line, int is the data type. See here, int is the data type, AR is the name of the array. This is third bracket open close called dimension. So how many dimension open, dimension close? So single dimension equal to new. Okay, new is the operator for dynamically allocation of memory, then int, then 10. So by these statements I can say that I have declared one array or one dimensional array called AR, which can occupy 10 elements or 10 values of integer types. Okay, this is the declaration process of single dimensional array. Now I am writing another one. So you see, now see students, what I have written here. Int AR dimension equal to new 4. So that means here also I have declared one array called AR of integer type, and this array will occupy 4 elements. Now you are thinking, sir, here it is one dimensional array, then what is it, sir? It is called two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array means we are going to store the value in the memory and as a matrix wise. What I know that all of you know about the matrix. So how these values are stored in the memory, I will show you. But before that, you have to understand this is the single dimension and this is two dimension or multi-dimensional array. And whenever we declare multi-dimensional array or two-dimensional array, we have to declare in this way. For example, int AR here array equal to new 4 and 4. Now you are thinking, sir, here we can understand 10 elements we can store, but here you have written 4 and 4, that means 4 plus 4. No, whenever we will write two-dimensional array, suppose here it is 4 and 4, suppose here it is, excuse me, suppose here it is 4 and 4, that means 4 multiply 4. That means how many total elements we can store? We can store total 16 elements in the array. So here we can store total 16 elements in the array. That means first one, this one represents the row, second one represents the column. So first value represents the row or second value represents the column, but this is not fixed. You can change the concept. You can change first one as a column, second one as the row, but default while you are learning in the first time, then it will be it is our responsibility to teach you for that first element is always used for row and second element always be used for column. But now how these values are stored in the memory, that one you have to understand. So I am going to discuss with you that part. So that means if I declare an 2D array, that 4 and 4 values, so how many total values it can store? 16 values it can store. So 16 integer types of value it can store. Okay, now you see what I am writing. See students, this is the memory representation technique of 1D array or one dimensional array. So how many values we can enter? Total 10. So that is why 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is called index number. 0, 1. Index number always begin with 0. You know about that. That is why 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 2, 9. So total 10 means memory spaces. Okay, 10 integer memory spaces already occupied. Now user can enter any value within it. This is the memory representation technique of one dimensional array. Now I will show you how two-dimensional array stores the data in the memory. Then you can easily compare between these two and your concept will be clear. See. See students, AR4 4. See, AR4 and 4. So here 4 and 4 means total 16 values I can store. So how to declare that 4? I have already explained. You see, 4 means row and 4 here 4 is column. So that means first we have to draw, first we have to declare the row. So 4 row and 4 column. See, first number row, second number row, third number row, fourth number row. So and row numbers I have declared by using index number like 0, 1, 2, 3. And this one is used for column number, column subscript 4. So see, 0 number column, 1 number column, 2 number column, 3 number column. Total 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So total how many values we can enter? Total 16 values I can enter anywhere. Now suppose students, now suppose I am here I am just putting one value. Okay, for example 24. Okay, now if I ask you students, what will be the address of 24? Suppose if I ask you, suppose here I have written 24 here. In the one dimensional array I have written 24. So what will be the address of 24? The name of the array is AR. Okay, so AR6. So here we have to write AR6. AR6 means 24. Okay, AR6 means 24. And here AR44 is total size and 24 I have stored in this position. So the memory address of 24 will be, or the I said memory address, not memory address. Actually the value where it is stored, how to declare the index wise. Okay, if I ask you students index wise in which position this value has stored, then you have to say that first you see row wise, from which number row? 1 number row. From which number column? 3 number column. Then we can easily write, for example, AR, then number 1 row and number 3 column. Understood? So now A1 3, that means now 1 number row and 3 number column. 1 number row and 3 number column I have stored this 24 value. Understood? So in this way we are going to handle or access 2D array by using programming. This is the basic concept of 2D's array. So that is why I have written all these things, so that your basic concept must be clear about the 2D array. And now after explaining this part, I am going to write a small program by which your concept will be clear more properly. For example, suppose I am drawing one matrix. 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Suppose I am writing the values. Suppose 89, 20, 15, 99, 124, 65, 41, 17, 70. So here I have written one matrix where 89 is stored, 20 is stored, 15 is stored, 99 is stored, 124 is stored. See, 124 is stored, 65 is stored, 41 is stored, 17 is stored, 70 is stored. So the position number will be 0, 1, 2. Column wise 0, 1, 2. Here it is 0, 1, 2. Suppose I have entered the values, but all these values are represented in the array, represented in the memory or stored in the memory. But if I ask you, or if I tell you that first of all you have to enter the value or user input value, though in this program already I have written 89, 20, 15, but if I ask you that suppose students, you enter 9 values in a 2-dimensional array, so start doing it, then how to do it or how to write the programming? The main thing is that how to write the programming. So how to do it? See, I am doing it. You follow this structure. For example, int AR3 equal to new int 3. So here I have written int AR, excuse me. Now you see, int AR new int 3. That means how many total values we can enter? 3 into 3, that means total 9 value I can enter. Now students, the main problem is all of you are thinking, sir, 9 value we have to enter in a matrix or 2D array, but how to enter array, sir? How to enter the values in the array? Because last time we have seen in 1-dimensional array we have to use for loop. So in this way or in this case, what do we have to use? We have to use the for loop once again, but there is one technique by which way we have to use the for loop so that easily we can enter the value in the array. So how to use that? See, I am just showing you. For example, for I equals to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Here we can write that system.out.println enter number, then I means row number, okay, or row value. I is the variable which we declare the row index number, and j. equal to, suppose SC dot next int, SC dot next int. This one complete, and here we have to write system dot out dot print ln only. See, for loop has finished. Now you can easily see, students, though I have written 89, 20, 15 numbers in the array, you forget it. Okay, you think that there is no number. Just you see the loop. See, first one. For example, for I equal to 0, I less than 3. Yes, I plus plus. So control will enter the body of this outer loop. Here inner loop for j equal to 0, j less than 3. Yes, okay, enter. Enter number, this line will be printed on the screen. Then ARIJ means AR00, because present value of I is 0, the present value of j is also 0. So I and j means 0 and 0 equal to SC dot next int. You know that SC, this is the object which I have to declare beforehand in the programming. For example, scanner SC equal to new scanner. If I use the scanner class, if you are using from that, if you are using IO package, then you have to write that input stream reader, read, buffer reader, read. Okay, two lines, those two lines you have to mention, and then after that you have to that integer dot parseInt in dot read line, you have to write that line, you know. Okay, so here ARIJ means AR00 equal to SC dot next int. That means while this statement will execute, it will ask user to enter a number, and that number, when user will enter a number, that number will goes to which position? 0 0. That means that number will goes to this position, because this is the position of 0 0. We see from the row number it is 0. For example, I am writing here row column. Okay, so row 0 column 0, understood? So A0, if I ask you AR00 means which position? This position. So that value will goes to this position, understood? Stored in the array. Next time excuse me, J++. J++ means the value of j would be 1. Then enter a number. Once again ARIJ, that means AR01. 0, the value of I, it would be 0, it will not change. 0 1 equal to SC dot next int. Once again user has to enter another value. That value will goes to 0 and 1 position. 0 1 means row 0 column 1, that means these positions. Okay, then J++, second position. Next 0 2. 0 2 means which position? Row number 0 and column number 2, that means this position. So automatically 1 2 3 value you have entered. After that, when it will be J++, the value of j will be 3. When the value of j will be 3 less than 3, no, condition dissatisfied, control will come out from the loop. And when it will come out from the loop, we should write system.out.println. Sir, inside the function, this bracket or arguments place, nothing is there. Yes, we shouldn't use anything, because our main intention is to come out to the next line, so that we can start entering the value once again, next line. So that is why only println statement. Control will come to the next line and it will wait. And next time the value of I will become 1. I equal to 1. 1 less than 3. Yes, come down. Once again, j equal to 0. J less than 3. Yes, come down. Enter the number ARIJ. ARIJ means AR10. User will enter the value. That value will goes to which place? 10 index number. 10 means row 1 and column 0. See, row number 1, column number 0. That means these positions. Understood, students? Now one by one, this position, in this position, and this position, here also, one by one, all those values will be stored. I hope that you have understood that concept, that how those values will be stored. So in this way, we are going to insert the elements in the 2D array, or you can say in two-dimensional array, by using this nested for loop, isn't it? For loop already you know, you are well versed with this for loop. So now I hope that your problem has solved. Okay, that how to enter the value in 2D array. Now using this looping technique or this loop variable, there are so many work we can do in this two-dimensional array. For example, I can tell you, okay, first to enter the values in 2D array, then find out the value which is positive or negative. That means one by one you have to place the value, and if you check if it is less than 0 or greater than 0, then use a counter variable and you can easily solve that problem. Okay, so there are so many work we can do in the array. For example, find how many even or odd numbers are there, find how many prime numbers are there, or do the sum of all these numbers. Okay, so all those works are easily possible, but before that I want that you should know that how to represent this 2D array in the memory, so that your whole concept must be clear. I hope now your concept is clear with this programming, as I have explained that how array elements are inserted in 2D array. So this is the called 2D array. Okay, or two-dimensional array, though it could be multi-dimensional array also, but in this in our syllabus we no need to learn that multi-dimensional right now. 2D is enough, means 2D only we have to learn about 2D. So 2D array always represents data in row and column wise, that means in a matrix wise, 0 1 2. It's looking like that Excel. See, 0 number row, 1 number row, 2 number row, 0 number column, 1 number column, 2 number column. So how to represent? Using this programming technique. Okay students, now we will study, or we will see some programming from the book, so that our concept would clear. Okay students. Okay, so now you see I have your book. So now I am going to explain array from this book, and you see that first of all I have explained that how to declare the array. Already I have explained, but here also this declaration is there. So it would be okay if I declare once again an array of integer. How is integer type? How to declare? Int m. It is the name of the array, m. What type of array? Integer type of array. So see that these are the dimensions. Okay, two dimensions are there, equal to new int 3 4. 3 4 means total how many values it can enter? 3 into 4, total 12 values it can enter. That this array can occupy 12 integer elements. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now this one, see, an array of these fractional numbers or float. This float m, that means here this array is the float type. Okay, excuse me, float m equal to new float 3 into 4. That means total 12 float values we can enter. Now today we will learn that however data may be accepted into the double dimensional array based program in the following 3 ways. So how we can enter the data in the array? There are various techniques are there. For example, by using assignment statement, that means value direct we will assign in the 2D array like 1D array. Number 2, by using functional argument or BlueJ system, we can use BlueJ technique also, and by using input stream reader class, that is IO package, and by using scanner class. So today first we will learn by using assignment statement. Assignment statement means directly we can assign the value of 2D array. How? See, int m, it is a two-dimensional array, and see how we have declared or initialized the values. For example, 1 2 3 4, it is enclosed by one second bracket, okay, or curly bracket, then 5 6 7 8, then 9 10. You see that means one now row, second row, and third row. And how many columns are there? 1 2 3 4 columns are there total. So that means it will looks like in the memory 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. It will be looks like a matrix. Understood? We will see afterwards. Now see the programming. See this programming. First of all, see this one. A program illustrated below. To display the elements of the double dimensional array in matrix form. Public class DD plus. Public class DD plus. Public static void main string args. Then int ij. Then you see the main thing, int m array equal to 1 2 3 4 then 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, and you can see there is comma is also there inside those area, that outer brackets. Then system.out.println, the elements of the 3 into 4 matrix are, see, I have already explained you, I have already told you that there are how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3. That is why I equal to 0, I less than 3. That means less than 3 means still 2 times. 0, 1, 2, 3 times. I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. J less than 4. Why? Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 columns are there. That is why. J equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. Then here you see system.out.print mij means it will print first 0 0th positions value. So in the 0 0th positions value, which one is in that value, place, in 0 0th place 1 is there. So it will first it would print 1, then it would print 2, like this. See the output, 1 2 3 4, and you can see between 1 and 2 gap is also there. Why? Because already I have used plus gap, that is why it has printed gap also, like 1 2 3 4. And after that system.out.println. Println means control will come to the next line, and from the next line 1 second it will start printing 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Students, if you wish you can print afterwards also, like 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 you can print. Then in the here you no need to write ln. Instead of ln you have to write print statement, but then it wouldn't be called as matrix wise. Okay, so to make it a matrix representation, then we have to write our program in this way. I hope that you have understood this particular program. Then we will move to our next program. Okay, so our next program, you see here one note. See, you must keep in your mind that each row must have equal number of values while assigning a double dimensional array. Okay, each row must have equal number of values. Yes, that is 100%. Obviously, one more thing, students. Suppose you can see that 0 number row, 1 number row, 3 number row, 2 number row. That means there are total 3 rows are there. But now suppose you are trying to end, you have used a loop 4 or 5 times. Then what to do? Then it will generate an error. It will be called as array out of bound error. Out of bound means suppose you have this much capacity to eat, but if I give you this much food, then what to do? Then you will vomit. So just like that, if you use 1 2 3, only suppose you have occupied only 3 space, only 3 this much space for to store the values in the memory, then you have to enter that much amount only, that much elements only. Understood? That is why. Okay, then next program, see, next is for character type. So in this program we will learn that how to enter the character values. Okay, so for character type, the characters are stored into double dimensional array as given below. Example, char m equal to a b c d. See, all these character values are enclosed by single quotation, enclosed by single quotation open close, single quotation open close. Why? Because this is character, this is not string or integer number. So 1 number row, 2 number row, 3 number row, you can see all rows are enclosed by curly brackets, as well as at last the full array is also enclosed by curly brackets. So a b c d e f g h i j k l, total 1 2 3 rows and 1 2 3 4 columns are there. Now you see the programming. Public class dd plus, public static void main string args int ij, then char m. Here we no need see, char m direct initialize, no need to write new or something like that. So initialized a b c d, okay, then I j k l already written. Now then system.out.println, the element of 3 into 4 matrix are for I equal to 0, I less than 3, yes, come down. J equal to 0, j less than 4, yes, come down. System.out.println mij. Mij means it will print the 0th position. So 0th position means first it will print a. Then j plus plus. J plus plus means j equal to 1. I j, that means m 0 and 1. In 0 and 1 which position? B. So in this way it will print 1 by 1 a b c d printed. Then j plus plus, when the value of j would become 4, then it will come out from the loop. Okay, system dot out println, that means next line, the value of I would increase to 1, I equal to 1. 1 less than 3, yes, once again come down, once again start from 0, that means mij, that means m1 0. So 1 0 means 1 means row and 0 means column number, so it will start printing from e f g h. So like next line e f g h, then I j k l, it will print according. See, the output is also there. I hope you have understood, students. Okay, so in the same way there are another programs are also there. See, like this string type, the string are stored in double dimensional array as given, okay, below. See, string M, Amit, Vikas, Chand, Dilip. So these are the strings which we are going to enter. So these programs you must see, or you must see from your book. See, okay, this program also I am just explaining to you so that it would be easy for you. See, like a program is illustrated below. Public class dd plus public static void main string args int ij string m equal to Amit, Vikas, Chand, Dilip, Isha. So these are the names, or in this array we are going to deal with the strings. Why strings? Because it is enclosed by double quotation open and close. See, and this is the first number of row, this is the second number of row, this is the third number of row, first column, second column, third column, fourth column. So system.out.println, the elements of the 3 into 4 matrix are, see, now actual work, I equal to 0, 0 less than 3, yes, come down, j equal to 0, j less than 4, yes, because this loop is act as a row, this loop is act as a column, okay, always row column as I have explained earlier. So j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. System.out.print mij, that means m00, m00 plus gap, that means it will first print Amit. After printing Amit, it will leave space, or it will create one blank space, okay. After that, next name, that is Vikas, then Chand, then Dilip. After that, it will come to the new line. Why? Because system.out.println, while the value of j would become 4, then control will come out from this inner loop, and it will reach to this statement. And after printing this statements, once again loop complete, that means once again it will make a round, or next iteration I plus plus I equal to 1. I equal to 1 means it will indicate the first number, index wise first number row, or second actually, if I count from 1. Then for j equal to 0, then it will be j, for example mij, that means 1 0. So 1 number row means this one, and 0 number column means, then it will print Isha. Then it will looks like this. See the output. The elements of the matrix are, or of the 3 are Amit, Vikas, Chand, Dilip. I hope that students you have understood that how to use this system, isn't it? Okay, so next we will learn that how to use by using BlueJ system. BlueJ system, how to use array, 2D array using BlueJ system. See, a program to illustrate BlueJ system in double dimensional array. Public class sample, public static void main int m array, int m. You see that array we have declared in that string args, that place, okay. So this place, whenever we declare the variable required, or user entered variable in that place, in such situation we call it as a BlueJ system techniques programming. So next line, int ij variable declared, then system.out.println, okay, system.out.println, the elements in the cells are, for I equal to 0, I less than 2, yes, come down, j equal to 0, j less than 3, yes, come down, then system.out.println mij, then it will print ij, that means 0 0 position, then gap. Understood, students? Then after first it will print first, then second, then third, then to control will come to the next line, and once it will come to the next line, once again iteration will be there, I plus plus, the value of I will become 1. When the value of I will become 1, once again 1 less than 2, yes, come down, j equal to 0, j less than 3, once again j 0 1 2, so 1 0 1 1 1 2, in this way it will work, and at last it will print these values. Then if you compile this program, it will looks like that, compile and execution part, you know, students. So I no need to explain, so I have to turn these pages. Next, this whatever the programmings are there, okay, string type and all, you just see. Now this page is very important. See, by using input stream reader class, using input stream reader class, how to declare the array and how to use it. See, this program, it has started from here. Import java.io.asterisk public class sample, and you see int m equal to new int 34. Already you know, I have shown you. Okay, public class sample. Next page. See, public static void main throws IO exception. Very good. Input stream reader read equal to new input stream reader system dot in. Buffered reader in equal to new buffered reader read. Int ij int m array equal to new int 34. System.out.println enter numbers one by one for I equal to 0. I less than 3. Yes, come down. J equal to 0. J less than 4. Yes, come down. Excuse me, students. Then mij equal to integer dot parse int dot read line. While we will write this line, or control will reach in these statements to execute, then and there user will be able to enter one value in this index number ij 0 0. That means first number. Okay, then j plus plus, that means 0 1, then j plus plus once again 0 2, then 0 3. After that, control will come out when j, the value of j would become 4. And in the next line, what it is there? Actually here it is nothing. Here it is nothing. No system.out.println. So that means this array will never print the value in matrix wise. Okay, it will print in continue basis, because here system.out.println statement is missing. That is why. So after all these things, what it will okay. Actually here only user input is going on, not printing is not going on. Okay, only input is going on. So anyway, input it could be enter, but printing time it must be keep in mind. Okay, see, system.out.println, the elements in the cell are I equal to 0 less than 3 I plus plus, j equal to 0 less than 4 j plus plus, system.out.print mij plus gap. That means one value gap, second value gap, third value gap, fourth value. Then control will reach to the next line. Why next line, sir? Because you see system.out.println. That means while we are entering the value in the array, that time not necessary, not mandatory to use that system.out.println. Okay, but it is good to use that. Okay, but while we are printing the values at that time, we must use it, otherwise that matrix will never come up. Okay, and then our purpose will be failed. So in this technique, we can enter the value in this using buffered reader class. See this program and try to understand the concept, students. And after compiling this program, it will create, and the output will be looks like this. See, first user has entered input like 10, 11, 12 in the long basis. Okay, though it is not looking like matrix, but while it will print it, then it will looks like a matrix. Understood, students? I hope that you have understood the concept, that how we are going to use it. Okay, fine. Now the same technique is already used for the character type also. So if you are using the character type, then how to use it? See this program. Suppose for character type, the characters are to be entered all at a time on the same line from the console at the time of execution. However, it is necessary to give a relevant message by using the input statement to enable input editor. Char m is array equal to new char 34. Now a complete program to input characters in double dimensional array by using input stream reader class as illustrated below. Import java.io.asterisk public class dd character. Okay, fine. Public static void main throws IO exception input stream buffer reader complete. Then int ij char m equal to new char 34. See, students, here it is written 34. That means how many characters we can enter? Yes, we can enter 12 characters. System.out.println enter the characters all at a time. Then for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus, mij, that means m0 0, first positions. Okay, 0 0 and equal to char. It is called typecasting. Sir, why it is typecasting? Because in.read method, using this read method, we can enter the, or user can enter a string. But while you are entering the string, obviously then it wouldn't be called as character. So while you are, suppose if you enter andal, okay, only A will be entered in this place. Why? Because that word will be converted to that character forcibly. This is called typecasting. So by mistake, if you try to enter a word, only the first character of the word would be entered. So that is why this char is mandatory, special while we are using with input stream reader class, or in this way. See, char in dot read, that character will enter in this index number and it will store in the array. So one by one it will store, and after that at last the characters in the cells are okay, now printing matter. The characters in the cell are I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Then next page, see, for j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus, system.out.print mij plus gap, the same thing. Now you can see the output from here. See how we have entered the value like a b c d e f g h I j k l, but while it is printing, then matrix wise, see a b c d, first row complete, e f g h, second row complete, I j k l, third row complete. Okay, now see the note. All the characters are to be entered at a time as shown below to the get the output. Already you know about it. Then the string program, you must see the string program. I will not explain this program, okay, though I am just showing you the string based programs, that how it is done. See this program, and you have to assume that how it is using. See, string based program. I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, system.println, mij, system.println. I hope that you will understand everything, okay. And by using scanner class also we can use, but using scanner class we have to use this next int, next float, next double, this type of functions we are going to use it, isn't it? So there are some rules and regulations are there, like number 1, scanner class is a member of java.util package, we have to use util package, okay. Then number 2, create an object of like scanner in, like in our earlier programs I wrote sc, that means scanner sc equal to new scanner system.in. Number 3, create a double dimensional array of specific data type, okay. Then all these things, see. And this is very important, difference between single dimensional array and double dimensional array. See this definition, it is very important, so you should read once. See, single dimensional array and double dimensional array, okay. Okay, now we will move to the programming. Okay students, now read this program or problem. Solved programs on double dimensional arrays. Program number 12 from your book. Write a program in Java to store the numbers in 3 into 4 matrix in a 2D array. Okay, fine. Find the sum of all the numbers of the matrix and display the sum using an input statement. That is a very easy program. Okay, first we have to enter those values in the 2D array, then we have to find the sum of all the numbers of the matrix and display the sum using an input statement. For example, see the numbers, the input of the matrix are 12, 21, 13, 14. So we have to use a counter variable, you know, like 12 plus 21 plus 13 plus 14 plus 24 plus 41 plus 51 plus 33 plus 61 plus 11 plus 30 plus 29, this way. And at the last it will print the sum of the elements of the matrix is 340, like it. So how to solve this problem? See, to display the sum of the matrix elements are, see, import java.util.asterisk public class ddSum, public static void main scanner in equal to new scanner system.in, int ijs s equal to 0, initialize the value of s, int m equal to new int 3 4, enter the elements of the matrix, I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, j equal to j less than j plus plus. Next page. See, mij equal to new dot next int. That means one by one value will be entered by the user. After entering all those values, next the numbers of the matrices are I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 4. Yes, come down. System.out.print mij plus gap. That means with the help of this statement, system.out.println. You see, from here to till here, whatever the codings are there, by this coding, whatever the value user will enter, that value will be printed in matrix form. That means first two loops we have used to enter the value, next two loops we are going to use to print those values, then our next actual program would begin from here. See, I equal to 0, I less than 3, yes, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. S equal to s plus, that means counter variable. See, okay, j equal to s equal to s plus, s equal to s plus, that means 0 plus mij, that means the first position of that array. And you know what was the first position of the array? That value will be added and stored in the s. Next time j plus plus, j equal to 1 less than 4, yes, once again s equal to s plus. So whatever the value it was stored, then s plus mij, that means 0 1. 0 1 means 0 number row, 1 number column. In the second position, first row, second column, whatever the value is stored, that value will be also added with s and stored in s. Understood? So in this way all those values will be calculated and ultimate it will stored in the s. At last system.out.println, the sum of the elements in the matrix is plus s. So students, in this program you have seen that total three times we have used. First we have used two for loops or nested for loop. For what purpose? For this entering the values. Next we have used second this thing, okay, this thing. So for what purpose? To print the matrices, all those values as a matrix. And third one we have third one we have used for what purpose? Third one we are used here to add those values, this for loop. So but this section easily we can also complete within this. That is also possible. So this is the first program, that is why they have explained properly, okay. But you can use this technique or this only one line, you can easily apply within it. Then you no need to write all these codings, okay, that you would understand after few days, okay. But you must practice this program properly so that it would clear to you. Understood, students? So I hope that you have understood this program, that how to add those values. So in your home you must practice one program where user will enter 4 into 4 matrix, that means 4 into 4, total 16 values, and it will find how many even numbers are there and how many odd numbers are there. For example, out of 60 numbers, if there is 9 even numbers, then it will print there are 9 even numbers and 6 odd numbers. Understood? That means you have to use counter variable as well as you have to use if condition to check, for example, that particular array or element is modulus 2 equal to 0 or not. Like that you have to solve that program. So you must practice that program in your house, and then in future I will try to talk to you so that you can ask some questions to me. Now I will move to the next program. See, next program is this one. See, write a program in Java to store the number in a 4 into 4 matrix in a double dimensional array. Find the highest and the lowest number of the matrix by using an input statement. So the numbers, the matrix are 12, 21, 13, 14. So entering process are same. The lowest number is 11. The greatest number in the array is 82. So already students, you know that how to find the maximum or minimum numbers in an array, because already we have seen this type of technique. You in that searching technique, you know, first value we are storing in a variable called max or mean, then compare that value with all those values to find out the maximum and minimum number, like that. So now we are going to start this programming. See, starting is same, like import java.util.asterisk public class static void main scanner class object declared in, then variable declared min equal to 0, max equal to 0. Why these two variables are initialized as 0, you would understand. Int m array new int 44, now enter the number I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. Then this I for I j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. I'm mij equal to int dot next int. That means that value will be one by one value will be stored in the array. System.out.println, the numbers of the matrices are I equal to I less than 4, j equal to j less than 4. System.out.print mij. Print mij. Have you seen print mij? I think that when I was writing, 1 second, 1 minute, students. Here students, you see it is written system.out.print mij. Why print statement? Because one value will be printed, then after gap another value, after gap another value, so it will be like horizontally. So to print the values horizontally you have to use print statement, otherwise it will print that if you use print ln, then it will print one by one in top down way. But we have to make a matrix, isn't it? So right now we are printing the first row, then the values of the first row, so that is why print statement. And once the value of j would become 4, then control will come out to this statement, system.out.println, that means new line. And once it will print come to the new line, once again I plus plus I equal to 1, 1 less than 4. Okay, understood? So first then it will print the values. Now our actual work begins. See, after printing, see, min equal to m00, that means first value we are storing in the variable called min. Max equal to m00. Once again, first value, the same value we are also storing in another variable called max. Now our main work started. For I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. If min, that means the first value, greater than the mij. If min, that means the value which is stored in the first position, if it is greater than mij, that means the first value. Right now we are comparing the first value with the first value. Next time, when after iteration, first value with the second value, first value with the third value, then first value with the fifth value, like this it will check. Min greater than mij. If it is, then mij will come to the min equal to mij. And if max less than mij, then max equal to mij. Understood? The same thing, and it will be continue. Okay, because after this, once again, here we no need to type anything, write anything like println and all, because we are not printing any value, just we are calculating. For example, suppose there is a matrix where already you have entered some values. First value you have initialized in min also, first value you have initialized in max also. Now with that first value you have to compare with all the values in the matrix, then easily you can get the maximum and minimum number. Okay students, so that is why, see, min equal to m00 and max equal to m00, and then comparison, like if after that leave, if min, that means that value greater than mij, obviously first time it wouldn't be, then j plus plus, j equal to 1, when j equal to 1, then mij, that means 0 1, that means the second element of the array which is stored in the 0th row but first column. So that value will be compared. If that value becomes small than min, then that value will be entered in min. See, mij equal to min. Understood? So the same process would apply with the max also, but here we are going to use less than. Why? Because the max, the value which is stored in the variable max, if it is less than mij, that means mij is greater than, then that greater one value we will initialize to max. Understood? So in this way, after whole iteration process, the smallest value will goes to the variable called min, and the highest value will goes to the variable max. Okay, and in the last, see, system.out.println, the lowest number in the array is min and the highest number in the array is max. Okay students, so this is the main technique of the programming. I hope that you have understood, or if you don't understand, practice this program again and again, then your problem will be solved. Okay students, thank you.